Every child is different. However, every child gets compared right from home to their siblings, their cousins, their neighboring children. And when they go to school, adults in the school setting add a little more salt to these wounds that have already been creating by comparing further. I'll give you a few examples of comparison in a school. A teacher once said, I can't believe that you both are siblings. Your sister used to perform so well. At least don't embarrass her. Yet another teacher said to somebody who failed in an exam in front of the entire classroom, failed as expected. Yet another example, you there, I think you need to sit with so and so. Maybe your grades will improve. Sit with some scholar of the class. An individual spends most of his or her time in school apart from home. And imagine children who come from troubled backgrounds, from conflicting environment, from a home that is abusive. You, as adults in a school setting, which is supposed to be the house of education, add to the stress and abuse. This ridicule, shaming impacts children for life. People remember what their teachers said to them and how they treated them for an entire lifetime. Okay, now I'm not putting down educators and teachers and school staff. I am an educator myself and I understand the pressures you have to deal with in an institution, college, or school. However, as a principal, as a teacher, as management, or any other staff in this education setup, it is your duty and your responsibility to teach true example. And that in any cost can't be belittling, demeaning, disrespecting, and comparing one student to another. Remember that comparison damages the self worth of a child, and this damage could be severe and last a lifetime. Okay, I also know of teachers who might be comparing with no intention to compare, let down, or disrespect the other student. You might be comparing with a good intention. So let's look at a situation where you say, I love the way Shreya performs. She's so hardworking. She puts so much passion into her work in front of an entire classroom. And you say, why don't you all learn from her, ask her help and support? You might be saying these things with a good intention, with the intention that the other children will take her example, be inspired by her, seeks help and support. However, what's going on in your student's mind might be completely different and contrary to your intention. So, students might be like, yeah, we know Shreya is your favorite. Or they might think something like, why should I be like Shreya? Or they might even think something like, Shreya just knows how to impress teachers. We've heard all these things when we were students and probably have forgotten that when we became teachers ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong to praise Shreya. If you appreciate a student's work, appreciate that person, that student directly. So you say, I really appreciate the hard work you put in. I appreciate your passion. Well done, to the student directly. You don't have to compare that student to the other class or to the other students in the classroom. That's not necessary. You praise directly, and if anybody in that classroom intends to learn from her or him, wants to seek support and help, they will do it anyway. So, what's the solution then? There's only one solution for you to realize that every student is different. Every student has strengths and weaknesses. We focus on the strengths and positively reinforce the children, the students, whenever appropriate. And if you think a student needs guidance, help, support, do it individually with that student without comparison. If you haven't watched a video that I had created before on comparison, it's called Stop Comparing Part 1. I'll put the link in the description. please go through that video because I tell you a few things that you can do instead of comparing. So that could be helpful. And for teachers in a classroom, it is always good to use something called positive behavior supports. What is that? If you're interested in knowing, please let me know. I can make a video on positive behavior supports and how you can use that in your classroom. Comment in the comment section and let me know if you need that one. If you like the content that I'm creating, then like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.